Hello everyone, back again with Bionicle Transformers, YellowJacket. So at first, when making a new Bionicle Transformer, I wanted to make a Transformer that people were familiar with, like Bumblebee. I tried to make a figure that was mainly black and yellow. But I found making a car out of my limited yellow pieces pretty difficult. I'm sure I could do it, but the more I made it, the more it looked weird. But then I noticed it looked like the back of a spider. But that gave me an idea. Why not make a spider? And I tried making it, and it turned out pretty good. It still doesn't have 8 limbs, but I think 4 is still pretty good. Maybe one day I will make a traditional spider with 8 limbs, but I may come in the future. So I did think about looking at references, then I realized I had arachnophobia, so no thank you. And I've seen this spider before, so I'm pretty sure this is kind of 1% close. Spiders are yellow, right? Here is a side comparison between Spider-Man here. As you can see, the spider is pretty big, and this frame makes this spider look a lot bigger than it actually is in real life. Like the head is kind of small compared to the rest of the body, but it is a pretty big spider. Since this is a spider transformer, that means there's both posability in the robot mode and the spider mode. This is his underbelly, by the way, and yes, it does count as a pose. It is called being dead. Yeah, I think the spider mode came out pretty well. That being said, it's time to transform. And here's YellowJacket in his robot mode, which I am also pretty happy with. I do think the spider mode was a bit better, but this mode still has its charms. The main difference between this figure and my other figures is that this one looks a lot more chaotic and insect-like. Of course, that does fit the overall aesthetic. The legs look kind of insecty, and he even has wings, which made up some of the arms of the spider mode. I do wish I could transform into a creepier spider head in the spider mode, but this head is pretty good in both modes, all things considered. Now, one thing I don't like about this thing is that it is an absolute pain to stand up. It falls down really easily, and I think that's due to both the fact that these feet are very small, which is unfortunately necessary in order to fit into the butt of the snake, and of course because there's a bit of a backpack here, which is honestly probably the ugliest part of this figure and the coolest. You could put this part up there, which makes the shaping a bit more cohesive, but honestly, I think it being down here is just a tiny bit better. But of course, the wings do look very good in both ways that you look at it, front and back. And of course, one other cool feature is that these wings can just come out and double as extra limbs, which I definitely think is very cool. Now for the posability of the robot, it's pretty good. The articulation on the shoulders are a tiny bit limited. I think his poses are really cool, and it makes him feel very intimidating. Now this figure probably isn't my favorite, as I've said before, but I definitely think making this has definitely helped me to improve with making Bionicle Transformers. Now as for his personality, of course he's an Insecticon, and I'd say his personality is very creepy in spider mode, but in his robot mode he's actually pretty calm and collected and reasonable. Despite the fact that he hates humans and loves to eat them in both modes. So the Bionicle style itself fits pretty well with insects. Let me know if you want to see more of this Insecticon kind of stuff, because I think I can make a lot more accurate Bionicle Transformers with them. Of course, I'll still make regular Bionicle Transformers. In fact, I think those are better, but I do still appreciate this style for what it is. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.